Okay, so let's talk about another next tutorial. This is a velocity based Laplacian equation based calculations. So let's look at here. So it is a velocity component Laplacians. Okay, so we have a particular x component, and based on the x component we are looking the different concept of diffusivity. Okay, so that is what we can see very quickly. So first let me close all this thing. Okay, and then along with that let's open the zero folder. So look, when we work with the velocity Laplacians, okay, at that point of time we require this point motion ux file, okay, inside the zero folder. Okay, and in this file you can specify all the moment whatever we explore with the previous tutorial. So I suggest try to look at all the options that we covered with the previous tutorial with the help of this velocity component based Laplacian class of the solver. Okay, based on this, in the previous case it is displacement based, now it is velocity component based, and here you have different options of diffusivity. Okay, so I suggest you combine both the things. You look at all the different options of diffusivity in the previous case and try to run, as well as all the options available where at a zeroth folder in this. Okay, so try to cover all the options. So this is point displacement file, this is point motion u file. So look at the point motion u file for the move is that particular square cylinder patch, and it is moving here in particular directions. So try to cover with that. Okay, so let's quickly run this one test case so you have an idea exactly what is happening here. Okay, so let's go to the folder. Okay, and let's generate the block mesh. Okay, and try to run the case. Okay, so para form. Okay, this is again the same test case, but it is going in one direction. So when it going in one direction, you will see that what happened with this near the this compressed zone. So element is failing, and when the element is failing it show you the errors. Okay, all this failed because of geometry check, mesh is failing. Okay, so if this mesh is failing, that means we have to tune the certain parameters. So in place of uniform diffusivity, let's work with something like inverse distance. Okay, if you work with the inverse distance, let's check what happened. It doesn't fail. Okay, so it doesn't fail, that means just go back and check how exactly the mesh motion is appearing. Okay, so by just changing the diffusivity, we get rid of this problem of failing. Okay, same way you have an inverse distance, so check this one. Okay, so this is all the diffusivity parameters. Okay, so it is also not failing. Okay, so try to explore different class of diffusivity parameter, look at exactly how the mesh configuration look like. Okay, check which diffusivity parameter is giving you the better result for your class of the test case. Okay, so certain thing you can check with the help of this very simplified tutorial. So it allow you to understand what exactly happening. Let's say inverse point distance. Okay, so if you work with the inverse point distance, what going to happen with your mesh? It's still working, not failing. Okay, try to check again the mesh options. Okay, so different mesh motion has a different characteristic, that means different diffusivity concept giving you the different class of mesh motions. Okay, so depending on your requirement, that means whatever the based on your meshing configuration, just look at the dynamic mesh motion and try to check either mesh is failing or not failing. If not failing, then go ahead and go for the final simulations. Okay, look at here also how big element it is try to generate. All the few concept you have to take into account when you are working with this different class of diffusivity concept. Okay, so again let's look at one more time. Okay, so different diffusivity give you the different class of mesh motions. Okay, so it's compressed, it goes with the longer size. Okay, it's slightly skewed, not heavy skewed. Okay, so all this concept is available. Now what I suggest, try to add up this all the diffusivity. Okay, apply this diffusivity concept when you are working with tutorial 01. Okay, with this all the options, then fix this one class of the diffusivity that give you the better result, and then work with this point, that means work with this velocity component based Laplacian with all these options, okay, inside the point displacement file. So copy that point displacement options into the point motion ux file and try to finish it off. When you work with the point motion ux, please understand that few entries we're going to change in the FV solution level, okay. So FV solution level we require this motion ux final, okay. In the previous case we have a this cell displacement final, now you require the cell motion final as well, okay. So this thing is required, okay. So when you are changing the solver, that means when you are changing the solver for this velocity Laplacian or velocity component Laplacian, displacement Laplacian, based on that certain entries is required. So if you don't kept these entries, no worry. So when you try to simulate it, give you the error. Let's say this entries is required, but if I don't have this entry here, okay, and if I try to look at the mesh motion, immediately it's going to give me the error that cell motion ux final is missing inside the solution FV solver, okay. So it give me the idea, look, this entries is very important to keep inside this place, okay. So if you forget, no worry, OpenFOAM remind you again and again that this entries is missing, okay. So this is about the third one. Now let's look at the one more. So let me clean this case, okay. So clean one bash file is available, so straight away you can clean that. Then this is based on the velocity Laplacians, okay. So let's explore. So again here solver is velocity Laplacians, and inside here we have now point motion u, okay, so file that is required. So please understand, if you are working with displacement Laplacian, you require the point displacement file, okay. If you are working with the velocity component Laplacian, you require the point motion ux file, okay. If you are working with velocity Laplacians, you require the point motion u file, okay. So depending on that, you can require the different file. You can change these conditions based on the displacement velocity base, all the boundary condition. That means tutorial number 1, this you have a couple of options. Try to look at all the options in the motion u file and try to explore. But here we try to look at the different, again the diffusivity concept, okay, and try to check how the mesh is moving with the particular thing. So here mesh is uniform fixed with a particular direction. We are moving, let's say it's moving in one particular directions, okay. So let's try to look at this tutorial very quickly. So this is then let's say block mesh, okay, and let's move the case. So it is failed with the help of whatever the set diffusivity parameter. So check why it is failing. Look at the test case. Look, when it is going in one particular direction, so all this element it never going to work, okay. So that means it is failing. So where to tune? If it is failing, we have a uniform diffusivity, not going to work. So let's go towards something like a inverse class of the diffusivity concept. Maybe we have some better improvement, okay. So it's not failing. Then check again how it's look like, okay. So look, it's not failing, but it's about to fail later on, okay. So depending on your mesh motion, please try to tune this diffusivity, and if you tune it properly, you will get a correct answer. So that is the idea behind that, okay. So try to tune this all the diffusivity parameter based on your requirement. So I suggest now you have a couple of options available as far as the mesh motion. I suggest you generate your own test case, okay, and try to look at the multiple cylinder moving in the particular direction. Look at the different motion for in place of one cylinder, okay. What I suggest, let's construct a bigger size domain, okay, and inside that one cylinder is going in one direction, another is going in another direction, and flow is also coming from the left hand side, and try to look at the interaction with the moving volt class of the test cases and explore certain type of the things, okay. So this is about the different class of the mesh motion, and you just have to adapt or try to check the mesh motion based on mesh dynamic mesh type of the move dynamic mesh type of the solver. Okay, now let's look at some different class of few more tutorials. So here what we do in case of just looking at the let me clear this, looking at mesh motion, we also try to simulate it. Okay, so let's say solid body mesh motions. So whatever we right now look at is based on the dynamic mesh motions options. Now let's look at the solid body mesh motion. So when we want to work with the solid body mesh motion, what we're going to use, we try to use this pimple dynamic as a solver. Okay, and first let's go there and try to look at the block mesh file and try to understand what exactly happening. So this is the file. Our test case is same but mesh is different. What we're going to do, we generated this as a separate cell zone. Okay, so if you look at the cell sets, okay, we have a different, okay, so we have a separate cell zone. So this is a moving cell zone, so that is what we constructed, this one cell zone, it is moving, and outer one is stationary. So on this moving cell zone we specify certain class of the mesh motion. Okay, so in the previous case only the patch, on the patch we are specifying the mesh motion, that means on this patch we are specifying. Now we are specifying the mesh motion on entire of this cell zone. Okay, so depending on your requirement you can go. If you want to specify only the patch based motion, then you need not to go for solid body motion, then you have to rely on the this dynamic motion solver FV mesh. Okay, if you want the entire zone is rotating like this way, either oscillating, rotating, whatever you want, then you supposed to go with the this solid body mesh motions. Okay, so let's quickly observe what options we have here. Okay, so let's look at the file. Okay, and here we have a different class of options available, multi-body, moving, different things. Okay, so first let me switch off this all the options. Okay, then we go back and look at each and every options step by step. Okay, so this is what we have. Okay, so let's start with very simplified options. Okay, so let me comment this multiple as well. Okay, so now let's activate the first solid body motions. Okay, so we are saying, let's say this is solid body motions, cell zone is the move, that is the rotating zones, it is moving, and it is, we want to specify rotating motion for that, origins, axis, and the radian per second with which it is going to rotate. Okay, so let's quickly first observe the mesh motion, how it look like. So block mesh. Okay, and without going for simulation, just look at the dynamic mesh motion. So it gives us the idea either it's going to fail or what going to happen with this mesh motions. Okay, so let's run for a couple of seconds, then stop it and just look at how exactly the mesh motion is happening. So let's activate. So it is a rotating motions. Okay, so and it is rotating with the so and so rotation. Okay, now let's try to simulate the test case. So here if you look at, we have only the polymesh and uniform. Okay, we don't have any field variable, that is exactly we are simulating it. But now let's try to simulate it. Okay, so when I say try to simulate, we're going to use this pimple dynamic mesh motion solver. Okay, and when now if you see, okay, we have a entire calculations. Okay, so that means per iterations, if you see, we have a solid body rotations. Okay, transformations. So let me give you the idea. Solid body motion is the rotating motions. Okay, so it is rotating, and this is the AMI cyclic AMI we are using. Okay, then we have a pressure correctors, then velocity correctors. Okay, all this thing, again we check the corner number, go for the next time steps. Okay, so it's almost done. Let's look at how the simulation is built up. Okay, apply the motions. First check how motion is going on. It's simply rotating, fine. Okay, now just check the field. Okay, so when it is rotating, it try to trigger the vertices from the corner, so that is what exactly happening. Okay, so let's cut the plane, have an idea about the vector configurations. Okay, so vector, just change it. Okay, so from in this portion, some of the amount of velocity is approaching. Okay, so look, and this is rotating, so this is incoming, now it start rotating. So look what exactly happening with the flow profile, so it is give us the certain idea. Okay, so this is rotating in particular directions. Okay, so you can tune the rotations. Okay, let's say minus omega is going to rotate in the other directions. Okay, so while it is running, just explore a couple of the things. Okay, it almost over, wait. So what I'm saying here, if you look at the boundary file, okay, what we require is moving zone has an interface in it and the shadow zone, so cyclic AMI, and for that we required is the neighboring patch init and the init shadow. They try to exchange the data what we seen in terms of MRF form. In the similar line we have this. Okay, so we are working with the OpenFOAM X release version, so we have a cyclic AMI. If you work with the, let's say, OpenFOAM extended version, so in place of this you have a GGI, and along with that, along with this neighbor we have a face zone as well. Okay, so few things we have to change, otherwise all other setting and the all other setting in this is almost same. Okay, so let's look at now. So this time, sorry, a minute. So it is rotating in the clockwise directions. Okay, and we have an idea how it rotating. Okay, so when it is rotating, okay, it try to shade some amount of vertices and it's going away from this zone. So that is what we able to see if we look at the this Z cutting plane. Okay, so let me look at this. So look, now let's start rotation. Okay, so how the flow configuration is changing. Okay, so we can quickly adapt this class of simplified mesh motion inside of this particular test case. Okay, so this is what we have now. This is called the solid body mesh motion. Okay, we can specify the multi-body mesh motion as well. Okay, so idea is very similar. In place of one we have a multiple body. Okay, so let's same way we have a one object is moving with so and so rotation, same rotations. Okay, so it is a, let's say it is rotating motions. Okay, so we can specify in the similar line rotating motion for one zone. You have multiple zone, you can specify for multiple zones. It's very simple. Okay, let's look at the linear motion. Even though the linear motion is going to fail because our cell entire zone going to move. Okay, so it is not the good way to look at, but just give you the idea. Okay, so if you look at here, I'm not going to simulate this zone, but with the help of the our move mesh utility we try to explore how exactly the motion going to look like. Okay, so this, okay, later on it going to fail. Okay, let's say it is moving in one particular direction, para form. Okay, now it's going to fail because of few things. Let me explore. Fine, look, now this portion is moving. Have you seen? Entirely it went off. Okay, because it is not a physical movement. If you want this movement, so don't give the movement to the cell zone. If you are expecting that this patch is supposed to move, then give the movement only to the patch, not the cell zone. Okay, so otherwise it goes wrong. Look, entire of this thing is move off, but we are not expecting like this way. Okay, so we want only this class of linear motion, then try to give the motion with the help of the this dynamic FV mesh options. Okay, not with the solid body class of the things. Okay, so that is one can check very quickly. Okay, so certain options available, then axial rotation in the same way, linear, oscillatory linear. Okay, so let's look at that. So sorry, so oscillatory linear, and let's look at how exactly it's look like. Okay, so we run for something like 1 or 2 seconds only. Fine, check. So look, so this entirely wrong, isn't it? Because we don't want that this gap supposed to be created. That means this class of the motion, please don't simulate with the help of this cell zone base. It's supposed to be simulated based on the patch base. That means at a zeroth folder you specify point displacement or point motion displacement, you component displacement, all these things you specify and mimic the similar class of the motions. Okay, so this goes wrong. It, even though it able to simulate, but it is a wrong way to set a test case. Okay, it is not the correct way to set up the test case for this class of the motions. Okay, but oscillating, rotating, that is perfect, because we want that entire cell zone is oscillating with respect to one class of the particular boundaries. Okay, so let's look at what it mean by oscillatory this thing. So it is oscillating. Okay, so that is perfect because our cell zone is oscillating with respect to some particular axis. Okay, that means something like this way. Look, that is fine. This class of oscillation, entire of the cell zone is oscillating. Okay, and it take into account. So for this it is perfectly all right. If but for this oscillation, let's say we want to increase this degree. Okay, it is now 45 degree, let's say 60 degree, or let's say 90 degree. Okay, so if we go with the 90 degree, in case of the patch base, it's going to fail, but here it's not going to fail because we have entire cell zone is oscillating. Okay, so depending on your requirement, okay, you can go ahead and simulate the test case. Okay, so what I mean, this for oscillating, you remember for our tutorial number test 1, okay, we try to oscillate it for a larger degree and it failed. So look, it going to oscillate, come back and again and again. Okay, so it's not going to fail. Why? Because it go back again, come back 90 degree. Okay, it not. But if you look at only patch based oscillation, then it going to twist the entire element, it going to fail. Okay, so what class of oscillation you require, or sorry, what class of motion you require, depending on that you have to add up the mesh motion. Okay, so different class of the mesh motion is good for different things. Okay, so let's say it is rotating and linear, so it going to be failed, but I want to then also I want to show you this particular class of the mesh motions. Okay, you have multiple motions at a time, solid body. Okay, so one is linear and another okay, oscillating linear, going here and there, and along with that it is also rotating with the help of this thing. Okay, so it is a wrong motion, but then also I am going to show you how exactly it can mimic. Okay, so sometime we think that it is simulation is going on So it is a correct? No. Depending on our physical understanding, we have to say that either it is correct or wrong. Okay, so just check. So it is oscillating, but it is completely wrong, isn't it? It's not supposed to work like this way. If you are expecting this class of the motion, then go with this. It is better to apply on this moving only this patch and finish that class of the things. Okay, that is perfect orientation. But let's say this is oscillating and rotating. Okay, so if you want this, this is perfectly all right. Okay, that means oscillating, this one. Okay, we can fix this. So we can say here 1 minute. Okay, so let's say this is not required. Okay, let me erase this and keep it here. Okay, and then we have its coefficient inside of it. Okay, let's put it away. So this is a oscillating motions. Okay, sorry, I copied the same thing. It is oscillating, not a rotating. Okay, so this is a oscillating, not a rotating. Okay, what I say, let's say it is rotating, along with that it has a oscillation, so it is come forth and come back. Okay, so combine things you can do ultimately. Okay, so that is the idea behind that. Okay, then let's say you have some tabulated things also. You can finish the things the similar line. You can specify this based on the table. Okay, so similar line, you have a table, and based on the table one can look at the entire mesh motions. Okay, so let me do it again, tabulated way. So we have a till 1, so it going to work till 1 table. Okay, just check the mesh motions. Okay, so look, it's again, but it is we not specifying explicitly, we are specifying based on this table, and table is 6dof.dat file that is available here. Okay, and here we specify certain motions. Okay, and depending on that it going to rotate, move, and all these things. So certain options is available. So either we go with the cell based motions, so that is come under the multi is solid body or the solid body, or page based motion, that is come under the displacement Laplacian class of the solver, and it try to give us the mimic or try to give us the mesh motion. So either of the way you can set the mesh motion. So depending on your requirement, try to look at the mesh motions. Okay, so when you are setting the mesh motion, be sure whatever you are doing is correct or not. Okay, so if it is wrong, then try to rectify it. Okay, and look at the mesh motion appropriately. Okay, so I'm switching off all this thing and keeping our standard mesh motion alive. So when you start, you will start with this setting and slowly add up the few more setting from here. Okay, so when we adapted this mesh motion, what exactly available at a 0th folder, we didn't explore that. So here we don't require any class of additional file, like that is what we required for this all the 3 cases, like point displacement, or maybe this one like a point motion ux or point motion u, but that file is not required when we work with the solid body class of the motions. Okay, we required only this thing, and what's supposed to be the boundary conditions we required. It is a very simple boundary condition, but whatever is the moving, on that we say moving wall or oscillatory wall or whatever we want, we can specify over this. Okay, so that is available here. Okay, so depending on your requirement, you can tune the case and look at the different options and facilitate the different type of dynamic mesh motions. Okay.